There is no it does. You move you.
5 minutes left in this practice. Can we have judges, please? If you signed up, thank you. But I need 4 more judges. 4 more judges. Mariana, are you judging? That's 2. I got 3. I need 2 more. 4.
Yep, over there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You did great today. You did
I
great.
was very nervous on that reverse.
I
just
know.
had to get it off. I'm like,
but
just
look at
jump,
you got
jump.
7.5s.
Yeah, I know. All there.
1 more judge, please. Kara, will you judge? Okay, I got 5 judges. Thank you. Yes, there should be. Please do your last dives. I think I need to wear a hat.
What?
I think I need to wear a hat.
Okay. Oh, we got to set this up. Hold on.
Can you go for this part up there to the centerpiece?
Yeah.
Sophia Richie is so pretty. Why is Mikey dilly-dallying?
So is Amy Crane your first one?
Here, the clipboard for the
Amy Crane. What?
clipboard for this event.
There you go.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, her dad is Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Yes.
Yeah, good enough.
I know.
Down just a little.
Yeah, but I know of him.
Yeah.
Singers now.
You got too much
Don't
of the
want
height
to
here.
pronounce half the same.
There, then I get more water.
Yeah, I got you.
Just took it down.
All right.
That was no glare. Almost.
233 dives.
How many you got?
233 dives.
Yows.
Okay, so I've
Well, there are
done-
going to be some scratches.
I've done 350 after this. I think I've done almost 1,000 dives.
They'll scratch.
I think.
Morning, Shay.
I don't think anyone knew that I was in this event. But
Okay.
can I just throw dives? Like, y'all don't even need to score me. I'm also here. I just want to pay for everyone.
Okay. I've got Venmo.
I heard that you did.
Okay. Do
And
you-
I believe there's a bunch of us who I'm going to just Venmo you for all of us.
okay.
Why don't we take care of the diving first?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that.
So
Okay,
you
do we
do you
have-
have a list?
Yeah, I can have a list.
You want to write it down?
Sure.
George. Shay's not on the board. We're going to let her dive.
Just turn it over. No, just put your name on top.
Okay, I don't need to be entered into the system at all.
Okay,
I
we will
just
run you.
Here, let me give you a sheet.
feel that
Oh, yeah, he's
people,
got a blank sheet. That'll be
I
better
don't
because then
want
we
to
can actually write
upset
it.
Ava and Graham by not diving.
No, no, no.
Give you a sheet so that she can write.
She can write on. Yeah, you can hang on to those.
So is she gonna go last?
She'll be last. We're just gonna.
She's not entering.
She's not in the system at all.
Are we scoring?
We're gonna score her on paper. Kind of like we did with
the late
Michael.
entry?
This way,
Did we miss your sheet?
I don't think that they thought that we were in this, that I was in this event.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just like a time.
Wait, you're not in the event yet?
Okay,
Hey, turn it this way.
last dive, please. Last dive.
Suzanne, can I see your
You don't need the DD.
Yes.
There's gonna be a lot of scratches.
The 1 and 7 can go too. You can go too.
Like, I'm just diving. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Okay, easy. Yep.
Or marker or something.
Thank you.
So,
Shay is there. Just tack her on the bottom.
okay.
So Shay. Oh wait, let me write them on yours. Can you? Yeah, I assume so. Let me write Shay in here. Like you gotta read them to me in a second. Hold on. 44.
There's always that one sheet, right?
Of course, they're always
Okay,
in.
give me numbers.
And we're the only organization in the world that allows
101B.
Yes.
But that's what makes
Okay.
it
So
great.
kind. Yes.
That's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it everybody.
Okay.
Yep. Nice.
Hey guys. So for
Hold on.
Wait. What?
I need his bio. Let me get him.
5233B. Okay. There's Shay on the bottom.
If somebody says forward because of wind, and they
Nobody's getting docked. There's no box. There's no box. Here you go.
Oh, that's Heather. Heather, I was you last night for a while. I was George, too. Oh, good. Okay, we are ready to start. All the judges, you have your scorecards. And who's the referee? Thank you. All right, Amy. And if it's on 5 meter, would you guys mind if I don't say on 5? Because you can see the diver. I'll do it for the first couple of rounds. The rest of them I will call. Okay, Amy is doing a 103B on 5.
Normally,
Oh, you gotta be careful.
You guys ready?
We're ready.
Scores. 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8. Tara, 101B on 7.
Go quickly.
You literally just have to go.
You just have to. It's not getting any better. Kara.
All right. Scores. 6.5, 6, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Louise, 301B on 5.
This is definitely the windiest tower event we've had in a long time. It is. We're gonna have scratches, don't worry.
We have lots of scratches.
Oh, good.
So the first round will be a little slow.
Scores. 6, 7, 6.5, 7, 7.5. Kimberly, 103B on 7.
Shall I record Mikey's times?
Oh, okay. You're gonna read Michael's score. She knows. Okay, you know what you're doing. Yeah. Michael's.
Yeah.
Michael's score. No, Michael.
At the end one, I gave you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it.
Scores. 6.5, 6, 7, 7, 6.5. Rebecca, 301C on 5.
Yeah, so Michael's in the system. We already have the scores. We're gonna feed him in.
But he's not expediting.
He's not gonna actually dive. And then we have Shay, who is diving, who's on paper. He said,
Courtney,
just to make it confusing.
5.5. I didn't even read her dive. She's doing a 401B. 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Rachel is doing a 401B on 5.
You just said Rachel. Courtney.
Courtney, yes. All right, the first one is always bad. Okay, Courtney's doing a 401B on 7. Ooh, it's calm. Go right now.
Didn't stop up there.
Did they cancel the high dive for that?
Not yet. I think this will blow you up.
Scores. 8, 8, 7.5, 7, 8. Okay.
7.5, 7, 8.
Yep. Okay, now we're doing Rachel, 401B on 5.
She doesn't do it. She only does high dive on 5. I was hoping she did it in her back. Her back sister.
Look at the flags up there. Jeez.
Those always blow though. Yeah. It could be like literally.
Scores. 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5. Kara, 201B on 5. Scores. 4.5, 5, 6, 5, 5.5. Heather, 5231D on 5.
Tower Thursday, and then I have 3 Saturday and 1 Sunday, and I think you have 1 Saturday and 3 Sunday.
Scores. 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5 across. Laura, 401B on 5. Scores. 8, 8, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5. Rebecca, 103B on 5. Scores. 6.5, 7, 7, 6, 6.5. Laura on 10 is doing a 112B. Smoking. 9, 10, 9.5, 9, 9. Regina on 5, 101B. Her scores. 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7. Catherine, 101B on 5.
7, 7.
She scratched? Yes.
Catherine.
Catherine scratched. Lisa, 103C on 5.
No, she didn't scratch.
See in the hot tub? How much more?
No, she's there.
She might be. She didn't.
Maybe she was.
In the tower.
Lisa's doing a 103C.
You got it, Lisa! Let's go,
runs this
Lisa!
She's my secret partner.
She's our. That's so weird. I don't even know.
She's a riot. She bugged me for so many years. You gotta be my secret partner. I'm like, okay, bye.
Hey!
Scores.
Again?
6, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7. Madonna is gone. Partying. Julia, 113B on 10.
See, that would just change the name? No, it said Julia. It'll change the name sometimes. Stretch.
Julia Black, 113B on 10. Okay. 105B. 105B on 10.
Okay. There is.
On 10. Okay. Yes.
There is. That's Bria.
Okay.
In the men's, we entered her wrong, but just put Bria. We're letting her dive as is. But just so you know.
All right.
Thank you.
Don't want to call her Brian. Ugh.
Hold on.
Okay.
I had it in the test.
Scores. 4, 5.5, 4.5, 5.5, 4.5. Jennifer, 103B on 7.
Not getting any better.
Her scores. 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 7. Bonnie, 101A on 5. Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7. Ava, 101A on 5. Her scores 6, 5.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Iris, 201B on 5.
She's just flipping to her next one. She did 105B and made her sheet illegal. So now she's going to change her 105B to 103C.
That's fine. That's fine.
Scores 3, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 4.5. Bria, 101B on 5.
Bria. It's Bria. We did it wrong. Don't worry about it. We ended her as a man, as a guy. It was a confusion. We're scoring her as is. Don't worry about
So
it.
it's Brian Diario.
Brian is Bria.
Okay.
Okay.
Right there. Got long hair.
We fixed it on 1 meter, I think, but we forgot to fix it on the platform.
How did that even happen?
Because there's two people with almost the same name and we didn't realize it.
Her scores 7, 7.5, 6, 6.5, 7. Jordan, 103B on 5.
And the sheet loaded, so we had to do it all by hand and we weren't paying attention. We put it in the wrong group.
So technically she's diving in the man's group.
Well, she'll get scored there, but
Scores
based on her score.
6.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 7. Grant, 101B on 5. Hot tub, could we keep the noise down, please? Thank you. Scores 7.5, 8, 7.5 across. Evan, 101C on 10.
He's on 5.
5.
He's on 5. Scared you. Scores. 6, 6, 4, 6, 6. Gerard, 401C on 5.
I know you can't hear, but pay attention.
Is Gerard here?
Pay
Okay,
attention.
Gerard is scratched.
Charge scratch.
And she's of course yelling it.
He did it yesterday, didn't he? Derek, 401B on 10.
That's what she did twice. And then it works.
I've never seen that before.
Derek?
We're on Derek.
Derek.
Oh, this is the guy who's partying all night. At the bar. Okay.
Scores. 6.5, 8, 7, 7, 6.5. Eric. Corey, 103C.
Like he's 30. And he's doing a front flip. Where's Corey? Is Corey here?
Corey?
Is Corey Cole?
No, he's not here.
Okay, he's scratched.
See, you were going to scratch.
Okay, now we have Evelyn, 201C.
That's weird.
How is Evelyn? Because it's.
Why do we have Evelyn right in the middle? I know, but why do we have her? Like
Evelyn is
men, and then go back to Logan?
so biological male.
Okay.
But has to dive. If he wants to be counted, he's got to dive.
Okay. Scores. 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7. Okay. Logan, 103B on 5. Can't put it down. Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5. Mikey, 102B on 10.
Yeah, so basically, if Evelyn wants her scores to count towards our Grandmasters, like to win, you got to be in your biological size. But you got exhibition.
And scores. 8, 9.5, 9.5, 8, 8.5. Run on 7, 103B.
He's scratching, right? No, is he up there? Oh, he's up there.
Where is he?
Is he diving? No, he's not. Ron's not diving, is he?
Is Ron diving?
Yeah, he's not.
Okay. All right, Ron.
There he is. I can't see him up there.
You might be doing a running. He is.
103. I just saw him.
There he is.
103B. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, he's doing it on 5. He's supposed to be doing it on 7.
No, he's on 5.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Scores. 6, 7.5, 6, 6.5, 7. Dan, 401B on 5.
Does that hurt the chair?
Well, no.
Let's say I can start it with this.
Scores. 7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Ernesto, 612B on 10.
You got it, Ernesto.
George. Oh, shit. We got a big ass paper. We have a big paper jam.
Did
Something
what are these sheets from?
No idea.
It's stuck at the bottom.
This is this event.
Scores. 5.5, 6.5, 6 across. Graham, 7 on 7 is
Hold
2,
on. You don't have Graham there, right?
202A.
You have Graham? No, hold on.
Wait, stop.
Here's Graham. Here's Graham.
Wait, what?
That's Graham.
Oh,
He
okay.
never finished pretty.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Go ahead, Graham.
Here's 36 and 37.
Okay, he's going to do it on 5. 202A.
Yeah, pull up through this.
Changing his meter.
You got it?
Changing his meter?
Pull it through slowly.
To 5? Yeah.
You gotta pull it through the right score.
Both scores?
You can get through it.
I'm good. Okay, scores. 5.5, 6, 6 across. Pedro, 101B on 10.
We have no paper down here. Here. Oh, it's
I think I might have. Hold on.
I got all of them.
Just let them keep coming out. They're just gonna keep coming out.
Is Pedro here?
Don't know.
How many
What
dogs?
dive are we on?
Is Pedro here?
He's not diving? He's right here. Scratch.
He's a scratch. Eric, 103B on 5.
So we are missing 30.
Hold on, I got it.
I don't know.
Guys, let me just say it.
You have Eric?
All right, there's Eric.
We're good.
Scores.
Don't worry about it. He's at the very end.
4, 5, 4, 4, 4. Eric, 103B on 5.
Don't come in last.
You just did Eric.
Oh, I just aired. I'm sorry. Alex, 103C on 5.
Is Alex a scratch? No. So that's the 38 we're missing.
Scores.
That's the one that got caught in the printer.
8, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5 across. Steve, got to change pages. Is doing a 103B on 5.
4, 7, 7, 8. Yep. Steve's after Alex. Yep.
Scores. 5, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 6.5. Okay. Mackenzie is doing a 001B on 5.
Michael will be coming through. So we gotta watch out for him.
What's I gonna do? Motherboard?
For Michael, she's gonna review Michael's scores.
last girl that just mentioned?
Scores. 7.5, 7, 6.5, 8, 7. James, 103B on 5.
It's moving away then.
We might get lucky.
Is James Hoagland here?
He's a scratch.
Scratch.
he's right
Oh,
there.
there he is. He's there.
Thank you, James.
Oh, he is here.
I thought he was. His synchro partner wasn't here today.
That's right.
Scores. 3.5, 5.5, 4, 4.5, 4. Michael, 103B on 5.
It's like one of the first 5 rounds. His balls are really good.
Shay, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 5, 6.5.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
I just didn't get his.
I got you, just wait. Okay, Shay, 101B on 5.
And then this girl has
It's a paper.
Buckets are empty. Buckets are empty.
Oh my God, what is?
We have no water in these buckets.
I think we should. I think. Can I close? Wait.
Hold it down. Get it down. Cover it up. Tuck it under here. That one go left.
Out of order. Out of order. Out of order.
Holding.
Just as I said, I'm surviving every now.
Tuck it under.
My sticker.
No, not mine.
we're okay. We're good. Yeah, tape. Duct tape.
Tape low and tape around. Yeah. Tape it above and below. Yeah. Tape the black, all the black in.
All the way up.
All the way to the black.
There we go. That's good.
Well, we know it's not lightning, or else we wouldn't be in the hot zone.
Blue skies. You gotta love it.
Look at that blue skies over there.
Where's George with his laptop? Where'd the mic go? Test.
Are we going?
We're going.
Where's the laptop?
Judges, take your seats. Divers, get ready.
Let me go get my
George, bring back the laptop. We'll get there. Did you take all the sheets too? Oh, they're right under here.
I didn't get Shay though.
Okay, no, we'll have to. Where did my Sammy end up? Here. Wipe up with this. Let's get this dry. Start with the table.
It looks like we got everything. We're on Michael.
Did we get
And
Michael Ha?
yeah, we're on Michael, so we
we
need
have
to
to
enter
man.
Michael's
Okay.
score as well.
Let me drive with this.
Oh, here's the sheets.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Wait, keep the water. Yeah, I'm coming through.
What's that?
Did Shay go? I have no idea.
She's gonna redo her dive.
Let me try off the rest. This is gonna be a mess. We'll like the best of it.
So we're on Michael.
Yeah, let's get that straightened out as best we can. Here's Suzanne, I'll let you hold this. It's on, so careful.
That's Michael's blank sheet. You put in a blank sheet, but it also has the sheet from the last one. All right, so read me Michael's scores.
5.5. Then we're gonna use Shay, right?
All right, now we're gonna do Shay on paper, and then the first dive will be Amy.
Okay, so I'm going to have Shay dive now.
We're gonna let Shay redo her dive. There she is. She's up.
Okay, Shay, you can redo your dive, and you're doing a 101B. Her scores.
Hold on. No, not in there, not near. She's on paper.
Okay. 6.5, 8. 6.5 across.
All right, we're on round.
Beginning round 2.
Yeah, get right here. Sammy's right there.
Amy,
By the way, here's the dive list.
Is it really? Well,
Amy 201B.
Thank you.
I did save the Sharpie, which is probably...
I don't think putting these back in the slip is going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I already wrote shade out.
Okay, Amy. Right? Run, Amy.
Run Amy.
6.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5. Tara 101B on 7.
It'll dry out as we go.
Her scores 5, 5.5, 5, 6, 6.
Hold on, take a pause. I'm going to reprint the dive list.
Okay, we're going to reprint the dive list. It kind of got really wet.
Hold on. You got to get this paper. Grab all that if you can. Some of that's blank paper that we need.
All right, give me some dry paper.
That's what I'm trying.
All right.
And then this is all wet.
Hold that for a second.
Yeah.
Sun's out, buns out.
Sammy is a multi-purpose tool.
Give it 5 minutes and weather changes.
There's the mouse. Is this your mouse?
They turn the power back on?
What's wrong? Look, we're just trying to print it.
Nothing, we're
The
just
power's
trying to-
back on. It was on.
All right, here we go. Let's give it a shot.
Are we on release?
All right, I clicked OK.
It's going.
It hasn't opened yet?
We're on Tara.
We can't forget our shorts.
She's number 2.
Hang it in the vestibule. Yeah.
Okay, you're good. One more.
I already got Tara, so
Oh, okay.
Whoa. What did we
print?
What'd you print?
I printed 2 copies.
Oh,
You have an extra.
okay. So
Okay.
these are
You're Louise?
these are old.
All right. 1 more minute. We're almost done. Okay, we done?
I think we're good.
Okay. Louise is doing a 201B. Somebody want this?
Thank you.
you guys want this to dry off your seat?
Oh, my seat's dry. Somebody was good enough to do that. Her scores. Her scores. 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7. Kimberly 612B on 7.
These scratched. That's awesome. These scratched. I was already off the list.
Okay, Wiz?
These scratch those diamonds. When we reprint the list, they didn't print them, which is perfect.
Her scores 7, 7, 7, 7, 6.5. Rebecca 201C on 5.
These are all good.
Her scores 5, 5, 6, 5, 4.5. Courtney 113B on 7. Her scores 7, 8, 7, 7.5, 6.5. Rachel 103B. Her scores 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Kara on 7, 101B. She's on 5. Her scores 8, 8, 6.5, 7, 7. Heather, 103B on 5. Scores. 7.5, 6, 7, 7, 7.5. Laurel, 101B.
Sorry.
Scores. 7, 7, 8, 7, 6.5. Rebecca, 5, 401B. Scores. 6, 6, 7, 6.5, 6. Laura, 612B on 7.
We were hoping for earlier, but oh well.
Alright, it should be easier now.
Basically,
5 minutes of panic.
it's all that way now.
Scores. 7, 7, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Regina, 103B on 5. Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5 across. Lisa, 5231D.
Just give me all the. Give me the scratches. I'll just throw them away. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Less paper to hold.
Scores. 5.5, 7, 5.5, 6, 6. It's, where is she? Julia, 105B on 10.
113B? 113B.
Go.
Why does hers have ears?
Oh, I know why it's
Scores. 7, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5 across. Jennifer, 401B.
Yeah, it's the ball option.
yeah. So her sheet's legal, it's just
Yeah. No, it's the problem is you can't change the ball option when you change the value.
Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 7, 8, 8. Jennifer, oh, wait. Bonnie, 103B on 5. Scores. 4.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Second to last score is 4, 4.5. Ava, 5111A. Scores. 4.5, 5, 5, 5, 4.5. Iris, 401B.
The wind's literally like stopped.
Is it?
The sun's bad.
No, it's definitely way better.
The sun's out. Her scores 4.5, 5.5, 4, 5, 4.5. Bria 103B.
Put a 7. I just 4, 5. Hey.
Scores 7.5, 7, 8, 7.5, 8.5. Jordan 105B.
What position? B?
Thank you. 101B. Scores 7, 7, 6, 7, 7. Grant 401B. Scores 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Evan 103B on 10, on 5. Scores 7, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5. Derek 103B on 7. 103C on 10.
He's just changing this position.
Yeah.
No, he's doing it on 10. Wait.
103C on 10. And this is Derek.
Careful, your mic's hot.
Scores 7, 7.5, 7, 6, 6.5. Evelyn 301C on 5. Her scores 6.5, 5.5, 7.5, 6, 6. Logan 105C on 5.
Hello. Then you don't get a conversation. He's on 5.
The last score was the 6.5. Hold scores. Hold scores.
Hold your scores. 5.5, 6.5, 6, 6, 5.5. Mikey 401B.
You're still in the middle of that group.
Got it, Mikey.
So going back within the group is allowed at that point.
Get it on the board.
Scores 8, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5. Ron from 7, 5132D.
8, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5. There's so many daggers in this here. There's 139 more.
Scores 6, 6.5, 7.5, 6, 6.5. Dan 612B.
5. That's what we do as kids.
it's on 5. Oh, okay. I'm trying to save my voice.
Those are his two daughters over there.
Like the wind is like almost.
It's totally different.
It's like literally gone.
Scores 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6. Ernesto 403C on 7.
Got it.
Say it again.
I'm sorry,
403B on 7.
403B?
403B.
403B, you got it.
I need password.
Got it, Ernesto.
403B on 7.
Scores 7.5, 9, 7.
George.
Changed it.
He changed it.
403B on 7. 403B on 7.
George.
Okay, I'll read the scores again. 7.5, 9, 7, 7, 7.
We'll check it out. Yeah, it's not up for us.
No, I know.
Graham, 101A on 5.
Check, and it's on 2 vowels, so I'm guessing.
I'm gonna go check his list.
I lost 1.
Scores 6.5, 6, 6.5 across. Eric, 312C on 7.
What'd they lose?
Sammy in the bottom. Just like white.
That is my job. I love getting
That is
Sydney's.
a bad color for Sammy.
Scores 6.5, 7.5. 7, 6, 7. Alex, 105B on 7. Scores 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7. Steve, 201C on 5.
$201.
201C. I'm sorry, yeah, 201C.
Take it right now. It's kind of, well, yeah. Unless you get it, yeah, unless you lay it separately, then they'll go away. That's okay. Good enough.
I told him, yeah, his DD was too high, so he's gonna have to. I told him he's gonna have to pick a guide that's 1.7 or less.
Yeah. And make that
And all of his dies are like high dies.
Scores 3, 4, 5, 4.5, 4. Mackenzie, 101C on 5.
That's what we mean by 17. Look at that.
If you've got 20, that'd be great.
Scores 7, 6.5, 8, 6.5, 6.5. James, 201A.
B is in boy.
C is in cat.
B.
B is in boy.
B is in boy. Okay. 202A.
9? Okay, well, I'll finish 11 more.
202B.
That was not quite the
Scores
1.5. Yeah, so he's gonna change his arm stand to a 1.5. Yeah, we'll do it later. We're gonna work it out first. We're gonna work out.
Hey, got scores.
That's what it's about.
2 across.
I have
Michael, 612B on 5.
You have to give me Michael Hawes.
Are we still going to ball?
It's not windy.
So yeah, so a 103B is 17 on 5, 16 on 7.
It's like my
So that would work.
when I first started
We did a 103B. Yeah. Wanna do that?
Score the dive?
Okay. 5, 5.5, 3.5, 4, 4.5. Shay, 103B on 5.
Yeah, there's 2 of your dives.
second one.
Wait a minute.
6.5 across. 6.5 across? Yeah.
So that's
Okay, scores? No, we're doing Shay, not paper. Okay, 8.5, 8, 9, 7.5, 7. Beginning round 3 is Amy, 401B. It says 401. 301 is the next one.
I didn't. People don't know their order.
I practice my dad's order, so don't deal with it.
That's all I do. I don't change my order.
It's because they're South Carolina, they do.
Scores. 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Tara, 401C.
Hold 1.5. I don't think so.
That a back 1.5 and half twist.
No, he's at front 1.5. McAllister.
Oh, McAllister's too long.
Yeah. Too high.
Scores. 7, 6.5, across. Louise, 5231D.
I got one.
Been here before, done that. She probably had another. You probably just send them Fort Lauderdale 5 events at one time.
Good.
In this area, that we could do it. Where the basketball team.
Insert that back. That's right spot.
Nice. Scores. 7, 6, 7 across. Kimberly, 403B. On 7.
Gotta tell all your friends to get us to 1,000 views quick.
Scores. 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5. Rebecca, 202C. Scores. 6, 5.5, 7, 5.5, 6. Courtney. She's doing a 612B on 7.
There you go. Push it and go. Go.
You got that? You got she's
Go.
That's the head. Wow! 8.5, 9, 8, 8, 8. Rachel, 612B.
So to be where I live. So many high maintenance sliders.
The sun is out.
So that's where I live. 46 in rain right now. I will take 80s in rain every day.
Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7. Kara, 401B on 7. On 5. Scores. 7.5, 8, 8, 7, 6.5. Heather, 105B on 7.
Back in just a second.
It's like a how not to do arm stand.
Scores. 5, 6, 6.5, 5, 5. Laurel, 103B. Scores. 6.5, 6, 7, 6.5, 6. Rebecca, 612B.
Are they dry?
Her scores. 6.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5. Laura, 6232D on 10. Okay. 212B on 10. Scores. 9.5, 9, 10, 9, 9.5. All right. Regina, 401B. Scores. 8, 7.5, 8.5, 6.5, 7. Lisa, 401C. Scores. 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5, 7. Julia, 612B on 10. Scores. 8.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 8.5. Jennifer, 203B on 5. Scores. 7.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Bonnie, 401B on 5. Scores. 7, 7, 8, 6, 6.5. Ava, 103C. Scores. 5, 5.5, 6, 5, 6.5. Iris, 101B on 5. Scores. 4.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Bria, 203B on 5. (203B). You want to change it? To what? Back dive straight?
Back flip straight.
Back flip straight. 203.
No, 202A.
202A. 202A. Whatever. Scores: 8, 8, 8.5, 7.5 across. Jordan, 612B on 5. Scores: 7, 7.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Grant, 403C. Scores: 7.5, 7, 8, 7.5, 7.5. Evans on 5 instead of 10, and he's doing a 201A.
Can I change it to 202?
Yes, you can. 202A? 202A on 5. Scores: 5, 5.5, 4, 4.5, 4. Derek, 201B. Scores: 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 6.5. Evelyn, 401B. Scores: 7, 6.5, 7 across. Logan, 5132D. Scores: 7, 7, 8, 7, 6. Mikey, last score, 6.5. Mikey, 5141B on 10. Scores: 7, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 6. Ron, 403C. Scores: 6.5, 7, 6.5 across. Dan, 103B. Scores. 8, 8, 8.5, 7.5, 7. Ernesto, 105B off 7. Scores. 8, 8.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5. Graham, 103C. Scores. 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6. Eric, 5111A. Scores 6.5, 8, 7.5 across. Alex, 5132D. Scores 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7. Steve, 301C on 5. Scores 4, 4, 5, 4.5, 4. Mackenzie, 101B. On 3. Scores 8.5, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7. James, 401C. Scores 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5. Michael, 101B. Six, 3, 1, 2, C. It was 6, 3, 1, 2.
That was
Is that what it was supposed to be?
that was 631C. Oh, they're working it out.
That's what he meant.
Didn't he put?
Yes.
631C.
We're getting it. Ready? Okay, 4, 5.5, 4.5, 5, 5. Okay, Shay, 5132D. Scores 7.5, 8 across. Beginning round 4, Amy 301B. Scores 7.5, 8, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Tara 612B on 7. Scores 6, 7.5, 7, 5.5, 5. Louise 401B on 7. Scores 8, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5. Kimberly 105B on 7. Scores 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 4. Rebecca 401C on 5. It was shady for a minute.
Yep.
Scores 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6. Who was it? Oh, no, we're at Courtney. Courtney, 5134D on 7. Scores 8.5, 8.5, 7.5, 8, 7.5. Rachel 202C on 5. Scores 7, 6.5, 7.5. I can't see that score. 6, 6.5. Where am I? Kara 103B on 5. It's a change. Is she doing a 103B?
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's back. Cheers.
Scores 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Heather 403C. Scores 4.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Laurel 201C.
Really? Easy plus. Oh, I know.
No, Gil, I'm talking to Gil.
Scores. 8, 8, 8 across. Rebecca, 202A. Scores. 7, 6, 8, 7, 6. And a half. No, do it. Laura on 10, 105B.
This girl literally needs 13 points to use numbers, so.
Nice. Scores. 8, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7. That's a birthday dive. Oh, Reggie. Regina. She's doing a 403C.
She's doing this.
Oh,
So you have to do it like this is her newest one.
I've been calling her name is Reggie.
Reggie.
Well, it'd be nice if somebody told me. Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7. Lisa, 201C on 5. Scores. 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5 across. Julia on 10, 403B.
Julie. Julie Black. They made her change her name to Julia and six. She's Julie.
Okay, scores. First score is 7, 6.5, 8, 7.5, 7.5. Jennifer, 301A on 7.
Come on, Jen.
Nice. Scores. 7.5, 8, 8, 7.5, 8. Bonnie, 201B. What time do you think high dive will be?
Is there any more synchro events?
Mixed synchro.
Is there a lot on mix?
There's mixed synchro left.
Is there a lot? Scores. 6, 7, 7, 6.5, 6.5. Ava, 201A on 5.
We're hoping to be done by 2. So high divers probably starts at warm up. Probably starts at 3. Good guess. Test your memory.
Scores. 4.5, 4.5. Judge 3. Oh, I found you. 4.5, 4.5. 5.5, 4.5, and 4.5.
Fourth score is a 5.5.
I know. I'm going to read them again. Do it. That's why. 4.5. Judge number 2, what's your score? It's 4.5. Okay. 4.5. 5.5, 4.5.
We'll be here for over an hour, right?
Easily.
Okay. We're on. This is Iris? Yeah. Iris, 301B. Scores. 3, 2.5, 4, 3, 3.
These two.
Bria, 401B. Scores. 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Okay. Jordan, 403B. Scores. 3.5, 3.5, 2, 2.5, 3.5. Grant, 5132D on 5. Scores. 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5. Evan, 401C on 10. But he's on 5.
Shut it out for me, I swear.
Just checking.
Down 10 all across, and he's accusing me of being out for him.
So Evan changed his side.
Yes.
Okay, it should be here in an hour.
401C on 5.
Yep. Scores. Evan, are you going to do 5 meter the rest?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. 6.5, 5.5. 6.5, 5.5. 6, 5.5, 6. Derek, 105B on 7. I like people who don't change their minds. Scores. 4.5, 4.5, 4, 4.5, 4.5. Evelyn, 103B on 5.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. And I don't think we had anyone signed up for it anyway.
Scores. 7, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Are we on Evelyn?
That was just Evelyn.
That was Evelyn? Okay. Logan, 301C.
No, 403C.
You're right, it's 403C.
Just checking.
.301C is his next dive. Scores. 6.5, 8, 7, 7.5 across. Mikey, 105C.
105C. So 2-2? 2-4.
I'm gonna get mad at him when I'm 27. Pick out. Hey!
Scores 7, 8, 8, 7, 6.5. Ron on 7 is 105B.
We were golfing with Mikey on Thursday.
Scores. It was a B. 105B. What was it? It was 105B. They were checking, not me. 7, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 7. It's okay, Ron.
Chill, dude.
Dan, 105C on 5.
Let's change it. 101B. 101B.
101B.
He told me coming in there's no changes. He only changed one. He's like, I made sure I didn't change a bunch. No, David changes all of his stuff.
Every single one.
Scores 7, 7, 7, 6.5 across. Ernesto, 5233D on 7.
This is a long event. Where's the 107, Mikey? I'm trying to figure out how many dives that I announced this weekend.
Too many.
Scores 7, 8, 7.5, 6, 6.5. Graham, 301C.
I roll.
Score 6, 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5. Eric, 403C. Score 6, 6.5. Last score is 6. Alex, 205C on 7.
Alex. Back 2.5 tuck. It's like 57.
I need to do this dive.
She's 57.
I was thinking dive I'm being too scared to do.
Ooh, held on.
Ow. My
He's
neck
got a bum
hurts.
ankle.
Scores 4.5, 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5.5. Steve, 401B.
He's the shooter lost. Bridget. He's got mostly 2.5 this section.
I got a 2.5
Scores 7, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Mackenzie, 10
Yeah, I'm 1 meter.
on 1 meter? Okay, Mackenzie's on 1 meter. She's doing a 102C.
You can't put 5 meters. You can only. Yep,
We got her.
we got it.
Scores 5.5, 5, 4, 4. Judge number, that's it, 4.5.
Wait. Read him again.
Okay, 4.5, 4.5.
Guys, show the scores. Show the scores.
One more time, please. 4.5, 4.5, 4, 4, 4.5.
You're cheating.
Okay, James, 5211A.
What?
Scores
No, we're doing it all on paper.
Incorrect dive.
Guidance. Failed dive.
Failed dive. Michael, 401B.
What? 610A.
610A.
610.
You said 610. 610.
Scores. 5.5, 5.5, 4, 6, 5.5. Shay is doing a 612B.
Shea on paper.
Okay, scores 8, 8, 7, 7, 6.5. Beginning round 5, Amy 403B on 7 on 5. Amy's on 5 meter, please. 203, 303,
No, 20. What position? B, thank you.
203B on 5.
You need more than just the number.
You think they'll let us announce it, right? Do you know who's running the high diving? Is Steven doing it?
I don't know. He might be diving.
Oh, wait, what's the message say?
Pretty more.
This is Amy.
Scores 5.5, 7, 7, 5, 6. That was Amy, right? Tara, 201C. Scores 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6, 6. Louise, 612B on 7.
We're on round 5, right? Yes.
Scores 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 6. Kimberly, 5141B on 10.
5421.
5421.
What position?
5421. What's her position?
B. 5421B.
5421B
Yay.
on 10.
Does it work? No, no.
Tell them the whole score.
5421.
B. Hold your scores.
B, right?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. 5421B, right?
Yes.
Oh, D. That's right. That's why I was doing this. Yeah, that's the problem.
We got it now.
Now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, scores 4.5, 4, 4.5 across. I don't even know who that was.
So that's why it pops.
That was Kimberly. You're on Rebecca.
Okay. Rebecca, 101C.
Yeah, that's why it pops up when it's illegal. You can't fix it.
Scores. 6, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Courtney on 7, 105B. Nice. Scores. 8, 8.5, 8, 8, 7.5. Rachel, 600A on 5.
Take and go.
So dramatic.
Can't control the wind. Don't even bother. It's not. We got one more line of thunderstorms coming.
Scores. 7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Kara, 612B on 7.
5.
She's on 5.
5.
Go for it. Scores. 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5 across. Heather, 203B.
Problem is once we say new option.
I know. Scores. 5, 5.5, 6, 4.5, 5. Laurel, 612B.
I'm sins of all.
We can do our balls anytime. We can order them any way we want.
Sure.
So. But no.
They need to put their arms over their hands, like their shoulders. Yeah, then over their. Wait, so if she boxes again, what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would say if we get a Dutch walk, yeah, it should be.
Scores.
And then we'll have like 4s.
Oh, so now they're talking about it.
No, I'm not talking about the corporate decision.
Scores. 3, 4, 3.5, 3, 4.5. Rebecca, 5222D. Her scores. 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Laura on 10, 5141B.
Where's
Is she ahead of everybody? Yeah. Scores. 8, 8, 9, 8, 7.5. Reggie, 212C.
gonna print?
Scores. 5, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 5.5. Lisa, 612B.
You got it, Lisa. Yeah, she's good with them. I don't know why she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scores. 7, 7.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Julie, 301C.
She's got her head in the game better.
We
Scores 7.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Jennifer, 403B on 7.
Hello, you're not a kid.
Scores 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7. Bonnie, 612B.
You're wasting my time. Yeah, way to hold it.
Scores 6, 5, 4.5, 6, 6. Ava, 5211A. Oh, she did?
She's even diving.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Gerard had a migraine yesterday morning, and he dove in the afternoon. God, when I get a migraine, I don't survive it in 4 hours. Scores 5.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5 across. Iris 612B. Scores 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2, 3.5. Bria 612B.
George, we have to merge Bria into the girls because she's going to be scored under the guys. Is she right? Bria was Brian.
Brian.
There's Brian instead of Bria under the guys as the girls. And we're going to move on platforms.
Scores 5.5, 7, 5.5.
Such a beautiful day now.
Not for long. It's coming.
So you're gonna have.
What are we doing?
Okay.
Yes.
He's calling a balk now.
Who? No.
He's not a balk.
There's no box.
No box.
We deleted block.
You can't put him back in.
She
You
walked
balked twice?
She walked
Oh, just say Phil died.
That's a failed die.
No, give her one ball.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, well, what's the last 2 scores?
What are we doing?
We need 2 scores.
Last two judges.
just read the scores out normally.
Don't score a balk, please. Just score what
We do the ball.
we do the balk.
Score the die.
Score the die.
Thank you. So I'm going to start over again. 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 5, 5.5. Okay, Mike, who are we doing? Mikey. Yeah, 405C.
Put up there, Ron. Michael.
I'm sorry, Jordan, there we are. Sorry, Jordan. 301C. Oh, that one hurt. Scores 1, 2.5, 2, 2, 1/2. Jordan. Okay, Grant. 302C.
So we're giving you. Yeah. 612B. 612B. 612B.
612C. B. As in boy. This is Grant, right? Scores 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Evan on 5 meter, 52.11A.
Change 5. Oh my god. Okay, you're not supposed to turn before you jump.
Score.
That's a legit 0.
Give him a half. Come on. It's a failed dive.
You can score it. Judges just
Are you scoring it? 0, 0, 0, 3, 2.
So if you drop behind low, he gets 2.
Evan. Oh, we already did Evan. That was Evan. Derek, 52.31D.
Two.
403B7.
403.7.
Alright, he's good.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, no, don't say anything. Don't say anything now.
I'm not. Yeah. He did a 403B. Scores 8, 8, 8, 7.5, 7. Evelyn. Evelyn, 612C on 5. Scores 7.5, 8, 8, 7, 7. Logan, 301C. You want to do Pike? All right.
Change to B.
301B.
Even more.
Scores 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7. Mikey had. Are we on Mikey?
Yeah, Mikey.
405C.
Got it, Mikey.
Scores 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Good scores. 3-1. Okay, Ron is doing a 51.34D on 7. Scores 5.5, 5.5 across. Dan, 201C on 5. Scores 4, 4.5, 5, 4.5 across. Ernesto, 614B
Got it, Ernesto.
on 10. What? 103B on 10.
103B on 10. Yeah, George wrote it. He knew it was so he doesn't break his DD.
Oh, he had too much DB.
He had, with the other change he made, he would have broken it. He would have had a DP otherwise.
Nice. Scores. 8, 8, 8.5, 8, 8. Graham, 302C.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Scores. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.
Last one was 5.5.
Last score is 5.5. Eric, 5231D on 7.
It made no difference.
I know. But he wants to score in there to save. Not getting any better.
Yeah, but it's bad. Look at the pool.
Scores. 7, 6, 6.5 across. Eric, 5231D on 7. No, you're not Eric. This is Alex. Where is he? Where am I? Oh, there he is. You're doing 5130. Let me do this again. 5233D. Like that one? Ugh. Glad this is almost over. Oh. Smoked it. 9, 8, 8.5, 8, 8.
Nope. 8.5.
8.5
8. Yeah, we got you.
is the last score.
Second to last.
No, we got it.
We got it. We got
All
it.
right.
We got
We
it.
got it. We got it. We got it.
You're good.
Steve.
Got
We
it.
got you. We got it. We
We
got
got
you.
it.
We're good.
Steve is doing a 5231D.
Little hippie there.
Little hippie. Yes, and not in the 70s.
Scores. 3.5, 3, 4, 4.5, 4.
Way out. Way over.
Okay, Mackenzie is doing a 002A on 3 meter.
Can I announce this?
I think so.
Go ahead, point.
I'm working on it.
I'll stay with the computer.
Yes.
The next one's high diving, right?
No, secret.
No,
McSecret.
synchro.
You just got to announce execution, and then.
You did it yesterday. I did.
I'm going to score. Scores. 7, 7, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Shay is 401B on 5.
This one's printing.
Yep.
Remember?
Her scores 8, 9, 9, 8, 7.5. Amy, 5231D.
She didn't care. She did not want him in there. She just wanted to dive. She could kill us.
Scores 7.5, 7, 8, 7, 7. Tara, 5211A. Scores 3, 3.5, 3.5, 3, 2.
I know.
Louise, 103B on 7.
Need ages and names, full names.
That's not like me.
Well, wait.
Scores. 5, 6, 5, 5.5, 5. Kimberly, 212B on 10.
Got it, Kimbo. Needs at least 38 points. Unless she gets 25.
So Lori Dothenberg needs a partner for Singapore too.
Who does?
Is Lori Dothenberg or Dothenback?
Scores 8.5, 7.5, 8.5, 7, 6.5. Rebecca, 103B on 7.
It would have been nice if she would have thought of that before I'm starting the event.
Well, she didn't know he left.
Wow.
That's not our, that's, unfortunately, we can't manage that.
Scores 7, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5 across. Courtney on 7 is 5233D.
Are we behind or on time or what?
We're half hour behind. We're going to catch up. Synchro is.
Scores 7.5, 8, 8.5, 8, 8.
No, there's nothing on there. No.
Okay,
Here,
so
though, if you want to know.
now we're at
Do you
Bria.
wanna know?
Is it? Oh, where are we? Who are we at now? Bria.
Bria, 5231D on 5.
Did Ernesto change that 103?
Yes.
Call it again? Or are they there?
We done?
It says, announce it again.
Bria,
Bria.
5231D.
We have,
Isn't that Bria right there?
no, that's Shay. Wait, say there, yeah, there's, events dropped.
We have more divers.
Bria.
Bria,
What's her last name?
Diario.
She's coming.
There she is.
Okay. You gotta pay attention. Not every event is the same length.
Take the cap off.
I know. Why did she pick up on me?
Maybe she thought she was
How did
done.
she get in there in the wrong?
Because we entered her under Brian when we did her.
Okay, Bria, you're doing a 5231D.
She gave us. She was late. Okay. Because she's late entry, we screwed it up because it's all manual. It's like it's the problem of having us do it. Right. We fixed it on the other levels. But then read it again. Read it again.
5231D.
Is food almost here?
It's like 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
She has to make one stop.
Sorry.
Scores
We'll be here before the event though.
6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Jordan, 5233D.
All right, so what I'm going to need to get all this right, Mark,
What?
to get all this right, I'm going to need her sheet.
Scores 5, 6, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Grant,
Equivalent to class.
103B.
He's gonna have to shift things around.
So after the awards, you got to give me her sheet so I can send it to Dive Meets.
Yes.
Scores 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5.
Really?
Of course. What would you like to do?
5111.
Okay,
111 what?
5111A on 5 meter.
Okay, 10, 10, 2, 2, 1. What type of dive was that?
She has changed every single dive.
And then 2 ones. That's the heck of a weird dive. Getting the effort points and then the what type of dive. I get him a 4.
Okay.
Scores 2.5, 5.5, 4, 3, 4.5. Okay, now we have Derek, 203B on 5. Scores 6, 7.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5.
This is the Bria Brian.
Evelyn, 5132D on 5.
2129, right? I assume she's 2129.
This is Evelyn. Yeah.
So you'll have to
Scores
in the right order on the other.
6, 6, 7, 5.5, 6.5. Logan, 401B on 5.
Give it all back. Can you give me that Sharpie? Thank you.
What is 6142?
6142?
That's what he has down. Mikey.
It's
Oh,
arm stand twister.
Yeah, it's an arm tendon twister.
Scores 7, 7, 7.5, 7 across. Mikey, 6142 off 10.
You got it!
Double with a 4.
Scores 8, 9, 8.5, 8.5, 8. Wow.
Second score was a 9.5. Second score was a 9.5.
Okay. Shay, 5233D.
I can't change it. So
Don't worry about it. Does not matter.
I can change it.
You can change after the fact.
I can change
the
it
fact.
after you guys are done and I
Press
sit
it.
down. I'll change it.
Scores 5, 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6.
Shift those all up.
I think we're done.
All right, let me sit.
Awesome divers.
Let me sit there.
We have no way to know where to
Thank you, judges, for your patience. And thank you, table.
find the women's and just merge her in.
Thank you, Susan. Okay. Hey guys, boards are open for mixed synchro. We're going to start in 20 minutes with the mixed synchro event. We may get a little rain. Maybe the front's going to die down. If everyone remembers what happened in Novato, we had a beautiful summer championship there. It was so beautiful that we actually had a lot of divers, and I didn't order enough medals. So I had to ship medals out to everybody who won, and hopefully those who earned them got them. Well, at this meet, got a reverse situation taking place. So now I'm running out of bronze medals. Okay? But the reality is what? Everyone standing on this pool deck is a gold medalist just for participating today. So as I hand out the awards for 4th, 5th, and 6th place, don't be shocked when you get a gold medal, all right? But we're not changing the results, just know that. So we're going to get all the novice divers up here first. Novice, please.
So we got it. Where's the 21?
2129 girls.
Right.
This is 2130. Oh, that's novice.